Millions of people around the world are experiencing some level of burnout, and since you clicked on this video, chances are you're probably one of them. Burnouts are getting more common these days, and there's a deep spiritual reason for why this is happening. In this video, you'll learn what a burnout is from a spiritual perspective, why burnouts are happening more in the new energies on the planet, and then I'll share 6 powerful tips to help you either avoid burnout altogether or help heal it if you're going through it right now. Coming up. Hello, beautiful soul. That intro that you just saw is from my new course, Awaken, which is opening its enrollment doors on June 7th. I designed Awaken as a way to help people navigate difficult spiritual awakenings and come to a place of more stability and clarity in their lives. Awaken is a 6-week course that has detailed step-by-step practice videos that you won't find anywhere else, and that'll help you immediately ground your energy, even if you're going through really difficult moments right now. We'll also have a strong private community to support you along the way and many other perks to help you get through any difficulties that you may be facing right now. To learn more about Awaken, and if you want to join the waitlist, click on the link in the description box below, and I hope to see you in Awaken this year. On to part 1 of the video, what's a burnout? Okay, so I'm going to give you a general mainstream definition, and then we're going to go a little bit deeper into the spiritual aspect. Okay, so the mainstream defines a burnout. A burnout is a state of physical, emotional, and mental exhaustion due to exposure to prolonged stress. Okay, so this is the general definition of what a burnout is. And this is very true. When you're going through a burnout, yes, you absolutely go through the exhaustion of the physical, mental, and emotional parts of yourself. So this is absolutely true. But now I want to add a deeper layer to this. Let's go into the spiritual understanding of what a burnout is, because once you know what it is on a spiritual level, that'll allow you to be able to heal from it or avoid it altogether in a way that you wouldn't be able to if you just understood burnout from this more mainstream, non-spiritual way. So on an energy level, what's happening during a burnout is that the solar plexus chakra collapses and the adrenals lose energy. Okay, so for those of you that don't remember what the solar plexus is, that's the 3rd chakra. That's your 3rd chakra. It is yellow in color. This chakra governs important organs in the digestive system, but also your kidneys and your adrenal glands, which are really important when talking about burnout. All right. So from an energy perspective, when you're going through a burnout, that's literally when your solar plexus collapses in its energy. When the energy of a chakra collapses, whether it's the solar plexus or any other chakra, as soon as the energy or the chi of the chakra collapses, the chakra becomes weakened. And when the chakra becomes weakened, so do the organs that are associated with that chakra. In this case, of particular importance when we're talking about burnout is the kidneys, especially the adrenals. The adrenals play a really important part in burnout. And now you can see why, because they are directly linked to the solar plexus. And as soon as that solar plexus collapses, the adrenals start to backfire also. Now, one important thing about this solar plexus is that normally this chakra, this is your center of personal power and will. This is your center of self-confidence, self-esteem. This is where you get the energy to go out in the world and do things. Okay, so the solar plexus is a very fiery chakra. So the actual element that governs the solar plexus is fire. Okay, so this is a very very fiery chakra, and this is what gives you that boost of energy to just go out in the world and conquer the world, okay? So when this chakra collapses, that's one of the main reasons why you feel total exhaustion, why you don't feel like doing anything, why you lose your will to do things, you lose your passion in the world, is precisely because this chakra is what holds your passion and your will to go out in the world and do things. So as soon as that chakra collapses, then you don't feel any desire to do these things. Now, I was talking earlier about how the solar plexus is really important, having to do with the kidneys, with digestive organs, kidneys, and adrenals, and how the adrenals come into play when it has to do with burnout. So your adrenals are these small little glands right above your kidneys, and they secrete hormones like adrenaline and cortisol. Okay, so these two hormones are really important for multiple functions in your body, but they really regulate the fight or flight response. They regulate activity. They even regulate the rebuilding of your body. Okay, so as soon as these hormones are off kilter because of that burnout, because of that lack of energy in the third chakra, as soon as those adrenals start to shut down or malfunction, you've got a host of problems that can happen in the body, especially if these two hormones are out of balance. So usually what'll happen in a burnout or an adrenal fatigue is the cortisol levels in your body just drop. Okay, and this has multiple repercussions in your body. But from a physiological perspective, now you understand that those kidneys and those adrenals are starting to fail. They're starting to malfunction as a result of the chakra, the energy of the solar plexus collapsing first. Remember, ding, ding, this is a really important thing to remember. From an energy perspective, the dysfunctions, any kind of disease or physical issue, it starts from an energy place first, and then it trickles into the physical body. So by the time you have a physical symptom occurring in your body, it's already been lingering in the energy system for a while before it trickles into the body, okay? So this is important to know because later on when I show you how to avoid or come out of burnout, this third chakra and working with the third chakra is going to be important for you. If you want to learn more about the solar plexus, if you're not sure and you want to go deeper into the chakras and to the solar plexus, I shot one video on all 7 main chakras, so you can go into that one. And I shot another one specifically for the solar plexus. So I'm going to leave links in the description box below for those 2 videos if you want to go deeper and watch after this one. On to part 2 of the video, why it's happening more. Okay, so why are burnouts happening more? We were already a society kind of riddled with burnouts because of excessive working, the hustle culture, doing, that we've literally been kind of working ourselves to the grave for a while now with this whole hustle culture and this culture of incessant working. So that was already happening on the planet. But burnouts have actually gone up recently because now, aside from all of the stressors that we were having in modern life before, something has happened on the planet that has made burnout even more likely. Okay, and there's 2 reasons really why what's happening on the planet, a couple of things that are happening on the planet and how that plays into an exponential increase in the rate of burnouts on the planet, all right? The first thing that's happening on the planet is energy ascension. Okay, so the planet herself, she's a sentient being and she is going up in energy. The more that she goes up in energy, the purer the energy gets, the more high vibration the energy gets. The more high vibration the energy gets, the more it affects our physical bodies, because our physical bodies then have to do the work of being able to adjust to this new higher vibration, which the body may not be used to. Okay, so there's an ascension going on the planet. Another thing that's going on is acceleration in the energy. So as the energy ascends vibrationally, it gets faster. And that means that the faster the energy, the faster your body has to move in order to adapt to these new energies. Okay, so these are a couple of things that are happening energetically on the planet. Now you can see why burnouts are increasing, because your body was already under a state of pressure, having to deal with the modern pressures of the world and modern stressors of the world. And now spiritually, we have this energy going up, we have the energy accelerating, and that means that your physical body is taxed even more. Specifically, a part of your physical body that's really important, and that's the nervous system. So the nervous system is getting more and more taxed because the nervous system is the main mediator between the spiritual world and the material world. And so the nervous system really has to work on overdrive in order to help your body adjust to new levels of energy. So you see, all of these things happening at the same time create an enormous, enormous pressure on your physical, emotional, and mental bodies to be able to adjust to all of these changes. On to part 3 of the video, how to prevent it or heal from it if you're experiencing burnout right now. Okay, so I really, really do believe I connect with thousands of people every week on this channel and privately. And I really do believe that for spiritually awakened people, the majority of spiritually awakened people on the planet right now are going through some sort of burnout or initiation of a burnout right now. Okay. And the reason is because spiritually awakened people, we're more sensitive to the ascension process. We're the first ones to go through the ascension process. Everybody's going to go through the ascension process, whether they're awakened or not. But people who are spiritually awakened and who are already doing spiritual practices, they're going to be the first ones to complete that ascension process because we're already doing that work. And so for those of us who are already spiritually awakened, it's more likely that we're going through a burnout also because we're actually working through the energy shifts with more consciousness. And so we're getting a double whammy of the regular stressors of life and of doing this spiritual work and this ascension work. Okay. So really, there are so many people going through this, the beginning of a burnout or total burnouts. And so now that you know all of the information that we've been discussing in this video, this part now is going to help you either avoid burnout if you're not there, and that's great, congratulations if you're not there, or heal from it if you do find yourself going through a burnout right now. So let me share 6 powerful tips that are going to help you avoid or heal from burnout, okay? The first one is rest. All right, rest. This really isn't rocket science, right? When you're going through a burnout, you do need to rest. As soon as that solar plexus chakra collapses, as soon as your adrenals collapse, you need to rest in order to give your body, your physical body, your mental body, your emotional body, your spiritual body time to rest. But when I'm talking about rest, I'm not just talking about sleeping. So yes, that's one of the first things you would think of when you're talking about rest is get a good night's sleep, whatever that means for you. So some people are 10-hour-a-night sleepers, some people are 6-hour-a-night sleepers, and that's just how they normally rest. So get a good night's sleep, whatever that means for you, whether it's more or less time, whatever that means for you, getting good night's sleep is super, super important. But when I'm talking about rest, I go beyond sleeping. So when you're going through a burnout, it is super important for you to consider actively resting throughout the day. Okay, so what does this idea of active rest even mean? It means that you're taking a break, you're resting without sleeping. All right, so there's a variety of ways that you could actively rest. But let me give you an example of some of the ones that I love to use in my daily life. So I take frequent breaks from work. Okay, so if I'm in front of the computer, I have my watch, I have my smartwatch on, and it'll tell me every hour, it'll buzz and it'll tell me to get up and move and go do something. And I will. I'll get up and I'll go walk around. I'll take a nice deep breath. Sometimes I'll just walk outside to get some fresh air. I will stop working and I'll specifically direct my attention to maybe taking a couple of deep breaths, closing my eyes, checking into my body and seeing how my body's doing. Maybe I'll go outside and I'll get some sunshine. I'll just walk around for a little bit. Or maybe if I'm at home and I'm working, I'll stop working and I'll just go sit on the couch or I'll sit on the floor, just overlooking outside, and I'll just close my eyes and I'll just do a short little meditation of 2 or 3 minutes just to focus, check in with myself. Okay, so these are examples of how you can actively take rest breaks throughout the day. This is important because when you actively take these rest breaks, you're not overtaxing your body. Sometimes when we start working, 10 hours later, we're still sitting in front of a computer. This is really detrimental if you're going through a burnout or if you're almost there. Okay, so aside from having a good night's sleep, strategically place some active resting breaks throughout your day so that you can just take a chill pill, relax a little bit, check in with your body, take some deep breaths, and just calm your system down. Tip number 2 is relaxation techniques. Okay, so this works really well when you're going through a burnout or about to go through a burnout. And these relaxation techniques, really what these relaxation techniques are doing is they're soothing your nervous system. They're just calming your body down. The more relaxed you are, the more you're going to heal from burnout. Because again, you don't want to overtax the adrenals, a really, really important little organs that come into play when you're having a burnout. You don't want to overtax these adrenals. If you're constantly stressed, your adrenals are going to be on overdrive, and so you're going to stay in burnout. So you want to calm your nervous system down so the adrenals relax, and as the adrenals relax, they start to recover. Okay, there are multiple ways in which you can do relaxation techniques. I'm going to give you some of my favorite ones that I love to use in my own daily life. The first one that I love to use is deep breathing. Okay, so I will take frequent breaks throughout the day and I will sit down and I'll start to do a round of deep breathing. And you can do something as simple. You can find yourself a deep breathing technique online, but I love to do just very, regular circular breaths. So that means that if I take 5 seconds to inhale, I take 5 seconds to exhale, whatever time frame you set. But circular breathing is when you take the same amount of time to inhale as you take to exhale. Okay, so I love to use deep breathing techniques. Deep breathing techniques work really well to calm the body and calm the nervous system. Another one that I love to use is meditation, and the specific type of meditation that I use for when going through a burnout or as I've been healing through a burnout also for the last months is a body scan meditation. So the body scan meditation is where you just close your eyes, you're sitting in meditation, you close your eyes, and you're assessing how your body is feeling. You're scanning your whole body and seeing how it's feeling. Do I have pain? How's my body feeling? How am I feeling emotionally? And you just start to scan the body. The more that you scan the body, you come out of the mind. A lot of stress is created in the mind, not actually in the body. And so if you come out of the mind and into the body and you become more relaxed and connected with the body, you'll automatically going to calm that nervous system. Okay, so there's another one. Another one that I love is self-massage, soothing massage. So I have a massager at home. Sometimes I'll use the massager. Sometimes I will just put oil on my body and I will just gently massage myself, okay? Soothing, gentle touch works really well to calm the nervous system down, okay? So soothing massage is another one. And the last one that I love to use is hot baths, okay? So wonderful, wonderful at relaxing the body. So you can put a handful or more of sea salt into your bath. And then if you have some essential oils work really well. So like a lavender or a peppermint or a eucalyptus, put some essential oils, some few drops of essential oil in your bath, and then just soak in it. Just soaking in that hot, warm bath is going to help calm your nervous system down. And the addition of salt and the essential oils will help regulate your meridian points, your energy system, and it'll also just the aromatherapy from the essential oils will help calm your system down. Tip number 3 is the addition of medicinal food into your diet. Okay, so when I'm talking about medicinal food, really what I mean is treating food like medicine, which it is, okay? So when it comes to healing or avoiding burnout, it's really important to focus on the right foods. So your body is already taxed. It's already overly taxed from all the stress and the burnout itself. You don't want to add more stressors into the body in the form of food. And some food can be stressor. So for example, you want to stay away from inflammatory foods, what's known as inflammatory foods. This is sugar. Sugar is a major inflammatory food. There are some inflammatory oils, okay? So not all fats are good for you. Some fats are healthy, like a coconut oil, an extra virgin olive oil, but there are fats that are very inflammatory to the body. For example, vegetable oils. So that's literally, if you have fried food at a restaurant, 100% certainty that food is fried with a vegetable oil. Vegetable oil is terrible for you. So you want to stay away from vegetable oils. You want to stay away from Frankenstein oils like hydrogenated oils. You want to stay away from oils, vegetable oils that have been processed, and you want to stay with the good fats like coconuts, extra virgin olive oil, coconut oil. things like that. Those are healthy fats and you want to stick to those. So stay away from inflammatory foods. Another inflammatory foods, processed stuff. So you want to stay away from processed stuff and you want to eat more plants, more fruits, more vegetable plants that are coming directly from the earth, okay? So exponentially increase your intake of vegetables, fresh fruit, fresh vegetables. Specifically when we're talking about fruits, there's some fruits that work really, really well to kind of calm your system down and are very medicinal, and that's the berry groups, especially blueberries. So focus on blueberries. They have a lot of antioxidants. They work really well to kind of help your body come back to itself, okay? So healthy, whole foods, healthy foods, nothing processed, no sugars, vegetable oils, and things like that, okay? Another thing that I love to do is I love incorporating smoothies. So I use smoothies on a daily basis, not just to bring in good stuff, and I'm going to tell you what stuff I put in my smoothies, but I also love to drink smoothies on a daily basis as a way to hydrate myself. It's really important to stay hydrated, especially during a burnout. And so I'll drink a huge smoothie a day, and I take advantage of that smoothie and I'll add some medicinal stuff in there, okay? So things like spirulina, I add spirulina powder in my smoothies. I add ashwagandha, so the powder of ashwagandha root, really, really good for you. I will add chlorella sometimes. So that's another one. I will add turmeric. All right. So you can buy turmeric mixed with black pepper because it has a compound called curcumin, and that is activated with black pepper. So when you're consuming turmeric, if you add black pepper to it, it helps you metabolize the curcumin in there. So I buy a powder that has turmeric and black pepper mixed up, and I just put a tablespoon of that in my smoothies, and I mix it all up, and you don't even know that all those powders are in there. And so I use this a lot, and this is very, very helpful. Another thing that I put in my smoothies is fresh aloe vera gel. So I will go to the store and I will buy huge aloe vera leaves, fresh aloe vera leaves. They last forever and a day in your refrigerator, and I'll cut out like a 3 or 4 inch square of the leaf every day, and I'll take the leaf out, the skin off, and then I'll just take the gel and I'll put it in my smoothie and I'll mix all that up. Aloe vera is a very, very powerful anti-inflammatory, antiviral, very, very healthy food. Okay, so I'll add a bunch of different medicinal things into my smoothies, and that not only hydrates me, but it also adds those medicinal foods that helps your body recover from burnout. If you want to learn more about how to use food as medicine, I have a couple of recommendations on people that I follow, and I love to kind of nitpick and take their advice on various things, and then I kind of mix things up and make then my own recipes and my own thoughts on that. But 2 people that I love and that I think you should follow when it comes to recovering from burnout through food. One of them is Anthony William, known as the medical medium. So look him up, and he has a ton of recipes and a ton of books out there. Another one is Dr. Mark Hyman, a functional medicine physician that I also love to kind of follow his stuff and his podcasts, and I've really learned a lot with him over the years. Okay, so here are a couple of recommendations on people that you can follow, read their books, and kind of go deeper on how to use food as medicine. Tip number 4 is to use energy cultivation. Okay, so this one is where the solar plexus comes in. Okay, so we've been learning that the solar plexus is extremely important in burnout, when experiencing burnout, and energy cultivation is extremely important in helping that solar plexus recharge. Okay, so when I'm talking about energy cultivation, I mean that because your solar plexus has collapsed or is about to collapse during a burnout, because it's weak, your whole body is going to weaken. And so what you can do is you can actually learn to cultivate and collect chi from the outside environment. Everything in this universe has energy, or prana, or chi. There are different words for it. And you can actually learn how to cultivate and collect that energy to recharge your own batteries. Okay, so this is known as energy cultivation. This is specifically very, very helpful for that solar plexus. Now, the favorite ways that I love to do energy cultivation is through practices like Qigong or Tai Chi. All right. I love, love, love to do energy collection and energy cultivation through these practices. These are very ancient practices that kind of combine slow movements with very focused awareness. so that you can learn how to cultivate your own energy and collect it from the outside environment. So look up some YouTube videos on Tai Chi routines or Qigong routines. Look up those routines and maybe start doing a little Qigong or a little Tai Chi routine every morning before you go to work. This is another great way for you to start cultivating energy. The more that you're able to cultivate energy and collect energy from the outside, the more your batteries are going to be recharged, and that solar plexus is going to start recharging its battery and get back to its normal functioning. Aside from Qigong and Tai Chi, there's also one other thing that I love to do that's an energy cultivation technique also, and it's sun exposure. So expose yourself to the sun. We have become so averse to the sun that now every time we go outside, we put some SPF on because we've been told that, skin cancer is going to kill us. And so we all lather SPF on us and we don't actually absorb the sun rays anymore, even when we are outside. So we'll either put SPF all over the place or we'll put thick sunglasses on, thereby depriving our eyes of very important UV light that they need. So for this step, for sun exposure, you're going to go outside, take your sunglasses off. If you can, don't put any SPF on. If you absolutely need to put SPF on, if you're as white can be and you burn very easily, then put SPF on. But maybe be outside for just a little while without SPF so you can actually absorb the sun rays with more efficiency. And here's a pro tip for you. Okay, so ding, ding, pro tip. Do this sun exposure in the morning. Okay, so if you expose yourself to the sun in the morning, you're actually going to have a better night's sleep later on. It's going to regulate your circadian rhythm, what's known as your circadian rhythm. So the more you expose yourself to light in the morning, the better you sleep at night, hours later, okay? So this sun exposure, such a great way. I love to be out in the sun. I'll go out in the sun, I will sit, and I'll just face the sun, close my eyes, and I'll visualize the sun rays actually coming into my solar plexus. It's a wonderful, wonderful way to recharge that solar plexus is through this sun exposure. So incorporate this in your everyday life. Tip number 5 is body movement. Body movement is actually really important. And sometimes this can feel counterintuitive because a lot of people tell me, they're like, body movement, I'm exhausted. I just want to be in bed with the covers over my head. And that's what I want to do all day long. And I know that there is this temptation when you're going through a burnout and you're exhausted, you just want to curl up in a ball and go to bed and never get up. But actually, being able to bring in body movement helps you recover from burnout faster, okay? Now, there's specific types of body movement that you want to do and others that you don't want to do. If you're going through a burnout, definitely don't do high intensity, a lot of weight, very difficult exercise. So you probably wouldn't want to do a CrossFit routine, or you wouldn't want to do like really, really heavy, intense, high intensity training or HIIT, what's known as HIIT training. You probably don't want to do that when you're going through a burnout because that's really going to tax your adrenals. But body movement in the lighter sense is really good. So go for walks in the sun in the morning, maybe. Go for a walk, go for a light jog, something really, really light. So movements that are light. Dance a little bit. And there's a pro tip here. There's one specific type of body movement that I'm going to recommend that works wonders for burnout. Okay. So the specific type of body movement that I'm recommending here is for you to actually do some dancing, but dancing on the floor. So put some music on, get on the floor. You're not dancing on your feet. You're dancing on the floor. Lie down on the floor. And what you're going to start to do is you're going to start to move your body on the floor, connecting with the floor. So maybe you roll around, maybe you twist, maybe you do cartwheels on the floor. You're going to allow your body to move on the floor. You're not going to get up from the floor. And what this does is it allows your skin, the skin in your whole body to connect with the ground, especially when you roll around this low back area. You're going to start massaging those kidneys and those adrenals, the pressure points for the kidneys and for the adrenals when you're rolling around the ground. This type of pressure on the ground works wonders. It'll calm down your nervous system and it'll start massaging those adrenals so that if you have any kind of tension, any kind of lagging in those organs, it's going to start to fire them up by using this deep pressure kind of rolling around around on the floor movements. Tip number 6 is to take a break from spiritual work. Oh my God. This may sound controversial, especially since I do a ton of videos on how to help you do spiritual work. Now I'm saying take a break from spiritual work. But this is actually really important in certain moments in our lives. When we go through a spiritual awakening, a lot of times we get so gung-ho on going deeper, finding our wounds, healing stuff that we need to heal. And we're doing that with very, it's important for us to do that, right? Because the more that we heal, the more that we go into these wounds, the more we free ourselves from all of this baggage that we've been carrying sometimes for lifetimes. And it's great to do your spiritual work. But when you are going through a burnout, or when you're just exhausted and about to go through a burnout, it's okay to take a break from deep spiritual work. Because look at this, your body is already taxed from the regular stresses of life. Then compound that with the acceleration and the ascension of the energy on the planet. You're already stressed again. And then compound that on top if you're doing deep spiritual work nonstop for years at a time. That can also add for a burnout. That can also add to a burnout. Okay, so in this tip, you're going to check yourself and you're going to say, wow, I'm really tired. I'm going through a burnout. I'm going to put a hold on my, inner child healing or my shadow work or whatever I was doing, deep spiritual healing that I was doing before I started to feel this exhausted and I started to go into a burnout. I'm just going to say to the universe, I'm pausing a little bit. I'm going to take a week off or a month off or whatever, and I'm just focusing on these simple tips that you already learned about in this video. I'm just going to focus on those more simple things, and I'm going to avoid doing deep spiritual work for just a week or 2 weeks or a month or whatever. Take a break. Don't be afraid of taking a break from spiritual work, because what you're doing is this is an act of self-love and self-compassion. And then as you're taking care of your beautiful body and that solar plexus, you're going to start to feel better. And then you're ready to go into a different level of spiritual healing. Okay, so don't be afraid to take a break from deep spiritual work. Sometimes it's necessary, and sometimes that is the spiritual thing to do. Now I want to hear from you. Let me know in the comments below. Are you experiencing burnout right now? I want to take a poll and see how many of us are going through that. Let me know in the comments below. Click here to subscribe to my YouTube channel, or head over to my website where you can learn about Awaken and join the wait list. And don't forget these videos that I mentioned in this one. That'll be great for you to continue viewing. All right, beautiful soul, that's it for me. I love you. I'm out.